Okay, so here's a little orientation video, basically just going over what international management is and the syllabus. And I've got my laptop with my notes in my lap, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So what is international management? When people ask me what I teach, I tell them that I teach students how to think critically about their role and the role of business in the world. So with the business education, we tend to think of our core subjects: marketing, finance, accounting, organizational behavior, those sort of core courses that we relate to business. With international management, we think about all of those things and their role around the world. So how might human resources issues be different for a company operating in China versus a company operating out of Mexico? How might your supply chain be affected by, let's say, a global pandemic, right? How do cultural, economic, legal, religious differences impact your ability to do business in other parts of the world successfully? If you're looking to expand your business internationally, or you're part of an organization already that works internationally, what does that look like? And what are some of the ethical issues of doing business abroad, with maybe different labor rules and regulations, and it's all complicated, and when you start thinking deeply about it, it's endlessly fascinating and, again, very complex. So that's what we think about, and that's what we're looking at in this class. Yeah, that's what this course is about. Okay, so we're going to explore these questions and try to understand much better how the world is interconnected, and what the challenges and benefits of doing business internationally are. Okay, so how do we get there? What are we doing in this class? What do you have to do to pass my class, to be successful in this class? So look at the syllabus, obviously, but we have 16 modules to complete this semester, and each module is 1 week of the semester. So they'll open at the beginning of each week, and what you need to do is there will be a recorded lecture on a PowerPoint. You need to download the PowerPoint, listen to the slides, and also read the chapter that corresponds with it in the textbook, because that'll really help sort of cement these ideas for you, okay? Then you'll need to do a post on the discussion board in your group to let me know you've understood the material. You'll also need to respond to one peer each week on the discussion boards, okay? The discussion boards are broken up into 5 groups. You'll be randomly assigned to one of those groups. This is so you don't have to read through 59 responses from your peers. You only have to read through maybe 10 or 12, okay? So that's one part. The discussion boards and participation, letting me know that you've listened to the lectures and are keeping up with the material. That's 20% of your grade, all right? Okay, then there's the current events assignment. This is worth 10% of your grade. This course is definitely deeply involved in current events. The greatest example, of course, right now is COVID and how it's impacting businesses around the world, and locally. So each week we'll have a different leader for your group, and they'll be the current events leader. And I'll put a schedule for this up once everyone is enrolled in the course, so after about the first week of the course. So what you'll do is, when it's your turn to be the leader for the current events board, I'll send you an email with a few articles, maybe a few YouTube videos, some different types of media explaining a current events issue. And this semester, probably a lot of them are going to be COVID related, because that's what the news is about this year. And then what your job is to read those articles or watch those videos and synthesize them, summarize them for your peers, and ask 3 questions. And then by Tuesday at noon, so you'll have all weekend to do this assignment, by Tuesday at noon you need to post your synthesis of the articles and your 3 questions on the current events discussion board for the week. And your classmates will then write responses to those questions, and you guys will discuss the current event. So this is a great way to connect with what's happening in the world. I try to make it as interesting as possible by mixing it up and by throwing in different types of media, sometimes a short podcast or something. But I want you to one, know what's going on in the world, because it's definitely related to business and how and everything that happens in the world impacts business in some capacity. And 2, being able to pose good questions is a great skill, and actually a very challenging skill. So that's why I have you do this assignment, okay? I'll have more info on that soon, but that's the gist of that assignment. Okay, then there's the case study assignment and the critical thinking exercise. Both of those are 15% of your grade. They're the main writing assignments that are due for this class. There are descriptions for each assignment under the course information tab in Learn. And I'll also be making a video about how to write a case study in maybe the next week or so. The critical thinking exercise isn't due till the end of the semester, so we'll talk about that later in the semester. Don't stress about it right now. Then there are 3 exams for the semester. They're each worth 10% of your grade. They're short answer, multiple choice, true or false. They're timed, so you can use your notes. I don't use that software where I can see if you're looking at your textbook or something. You can use your notes, but they're timed. They're an hour and 15 minutes, so you definitely need to be prepared and be familiar with the material, okay? Then the other 2 assignments that are part of your grade, the syllabus quiz, which is due August 26th, so next Wednesday. It's a 10-question, really short quiz just to prove to me that you've read the syllabus and understand what you are required to do to pass my class. And then the LOA, or the Learning Outcomes Assessment quiz, is due at the end of the semester. That's something that all undergrad bachelor students have to take. It just analyzes what you've learned or not learned in my class. And that'll be, again, something we do at the end of the semester, so don't stress too much about it now. But I just like to go over these things so you know what's required of you in this course. I know when I was an undergrad, I like to basically make a checklist of everything that was due for a class throughout the semester. And as I went, I'd be like, okay, I finished that, I finished that, I finished that. So then I could hold myself accountable for what I had still to do for the rest of the semester. In this class, there aren't that many things to do, but obviously they're each worth quite a bit of your grade in that case. So just something to think about. Read through that syllabus and the course schedule and take the syllabus quiz, and then the second module, the first real module of the semester, will be open to you. Just a quick note that I remembered I should tell you is some scheduling stuff. So again, this is in the schedule and the syllabus, but all discussion posts are due Fridays at 11:59 p.m. to the discussion board. If you're a bit late, I'd rather you submit it than not submit anything at all. But that means each week, an original discussion board response to the questions I ask you, and then a response to appear on that board. And then on the weekly current events board, you'll respond to the leader's post and you'll respond to one peer. So that's 4 posts a week. Some weeks, like fall break and Thanksgiving, we won't have a current events assignment, so obviously that's fine. And then exams will be open on Wednesdays at 12:01 a.m. all the way until Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. So you have 48 hours to take your exams. I chose the middle of the week because you'll have a couple days at the beginning of the week to study, and then you'll have the weekend, and you have all those assignments due on Friday evenings, so that'll help you not have to stress too much, I hope. If for some reason this really doesn't work for your schedule, let me know and we can coordinate that personally, but hopefully it works for everyone. If you're one of my international students who is on a different time zone, let's coordinate early on so you have more of an ability to know exactly when you're taking the exam. With time difference and stuff, I want to be kind about that. So reach out to me, please, and we'll figure this out. Thanks.